or you're an agency, you've got a team, and you're trying to scale your business. So if you can just type in the question, just so I know. Sandy, just starting out, awesome. Who else? We got some freelancers. We got some. Oh, we do have a couple of agency. It was good to see. Yep, awesome. Scaling to mid 6 figures. Andrew, congratulations. Great work. Brandon, awesome. Starting agency, looking to scale. Thanks, John. Good to have you here. Justin, agency, awesome. 5 employees. You got an office. Wow, that's a huge commitment, Justin. Congratulations. Just starting out. Awesome, Jimmy. Okay, so if you can just let me know, starting, you're a freelancer, you got some clients, you're an agency, you're scaling, you're building a business. Awesome, Dan, thank you. Just getting started on your agency. Okay, awesome. All right, so thank you, because what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to make this relevant to all of you. And there are some things I'm going to share with you that are so simple that we forget how easy it is to actually generate clients. We actually make this more complicated than it needs to be. We all talk about the push button marketing, run some Facebook ads, do a webinar, do all that sort of stuff, the inbound stuff. This takes time to do really well. It takes investment to do really well. It's an area that a lot of people get clients from. I get clients in this way as well. A lot of people that I work with generate clients, but there are much faster ways of generating clients that are much more subtle and easier, and people kind of forget where these opportunities are. So I'm going to talk a little bit about those sorts of things. A little bit about me for those who don't know me. This is where essentially I spend most of my time when I'm actually in Australia. This is the Gold Coast here. I do a lot of speaking, a lot of traveling. I attend a lot of conferences and trade shows. In fact, I've been on the road now for 4 years. In my last travel stint right now, I've been on the road for 6 weeks and still going strong for the next 4 to 5 weeks on the road. So I do travel extensively. I run my own agency, but I tend to live in the first 8 rows of an airplane. You'll notice that this is my lounge room. This is my entertainment room. This is my bedroom. That I do get to share a bathroom with 180 other people. So I do spend a lot of time on an aircraft when I travel. And I'm currently running an agency. I have my own agency business, so I kind of walk my talk. I'm not an internet marketer. One thing I'll be very clear. I'm pretty good at internet marketing. I know internet marketing very well, but I'm not an internet marketer. I don't push info products. I tend to train and coach and speak to help people in the consulting world. Some things on in terms of update, I specialize in strategic marketing, sales process, and niche development. I teach people how to generate quality clients at high value and high revenue and how to scale their businesses effectively. Last 3 years, worked with over 300 consultants, launched over 194 odd consulting agencies, helped my consulting champions generate $32 million in contracts in 2017, teaching some of the stuff I'm going to be sharing with you today. Last 12 months, just with 2 strategies, brought on 140 clients, investing $60K per annum, 9 million revenue selling or actually renting a Facebook funnel to a health niche. One funnel, right? One funnel, one Facebook campaign, and an email marketing campaign that we rent to a niche market for $60,000 per annum, not including ad spend on top of. They've got to give us another $20,000 in ad spend on top of that. So they're spending $80,000 in marketing with us in our agency, and in 1 year generated 140 clients. So that's the sort of stuff that I do. And as I said, just to give you perspective, that I do walk my talk. So today's training, all about you. At the end of this training, I'm going to share something really cool with you that you can actually take advantage of, something a lot of people have generated huge amount of benefit from. I will share with you how you can actually accelerate some of the things that I'm talking about today, and more importantly, getting you a lot more focused, a lot more clear, and certainly getting out there into the market to maximize your opportunity to grow. So we all want more. This is something that I hear from everybody. I want more clients. I want more money. I want more freedom. I want more time. I want more. I want more. I want more. I want to grow a big business. I want to grow a great business. I want to do really well. I want to work with people that value with what I do. I want more. I want more. Well, I want more. We all want more. We all want more, right? Yet, for some reason, we are unable to, or we're afraid to get more of what we want. So what I mean by we're afraid to get more of what we want is I hear people tell me about all the things that they don't want when I ask them what they actually want. So when I ask them, say, look, tell me what you're after. Tell me what you're looking for. Tell me what you want to do with this business. Well, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work with crappy clients. I don't want to get paid low prices. I don't want to. So they start telling me all the things that they don't want. And so guess what is represented to them when they tell me all the things they don't want? Everything that they don't want is what they're actually experiencing right now in their lives. It's really funny that when you focus on all the things that you don't want, you're going to be presented with all those things, because that's where your attention is. You are focused on all the things that we don't want rather than actually focusing on the very things that we do want. Because when we pay attention to the things that we do want, when we actually take actions and steps towards the things that we want, when we experience, place ourselves in a place of experiential presence, where we are in the place where we want, where we hang out with the people we want to hang out with, where we do the things that we want to do, then all of a sudden the representation of what is around us and what is within us is what we want. But most people are scared. They're scared, and a lot of things, when I talk about this fear thing, the fear is not necessarily, it's not, in most cases, the fear isn't real. In fact, in all cases, the fear is very unreal, because it's a manufactured thought process. You know, when we get scared, or when we get apprehensive, or when we move away from the things that we say that we actually want to do, what we're doing is we're running movies. We're running movies about the future that hasn't even happened yet. So we're creating this stress and apprehension of what if, and what happens if it doesn't work, and what if I fail, and God, what if I have to work too hard for this? I don't want to work hard. I want to do really well, but I don't want to have to freaking kill myself for it. What do I do? So then what happens is we go into a place of being distracted. We go into a place of overwhelm. We go into a place of shutting down, and we start to move away, and we stop ourselves from the very thing that we actually want to realize and experience, right? And these are all the little excuses. This is the 80% of business is in your head. Unfortunately, 80% of the mind game, that is what is the difference between somebody who does really well and somebody who's meandering along trying to get it done in what they're doing. But this is a challenge for everybody. Right? And here's it's fun for the people here who are just starting out. I know there's going to be lots of fun, lots of apprehension, lots of questions, all those sorts of things that come to mind. Like, how do I get this? How do I know it's going to work? Why would they buy from me? I don't have any testimonials or case studies to share. So why would they trust me with their money? Right? All these sorts of things are going to come up. And I am going to tell you that every day it's the same for everybody else. We all start. 27 years ago, I started with one client. I got really lucky. My first client was a six-figure deal. That was my first client. The reason why I was lucky with my first client as a six-figure deal is because I didn't know how to. I thought I was actually too cheap. I thought at six figures I was too cheap, because I was seeing other people charging well above six figures for the same sorts of services. So I thought I was being a cheap ass, offering a six-figure offer. Right now, I know a lot of people are struggling with offering a four-figure offer, $1,000 in some cases, right? But understand that we all start with one customer. It starts with a client, right? That is the goal. And then we get the next one and the next one. And the beautiful thing about consulting, and this is why I love this business, is that you get to learn. You actually get paid to learn. As a consultant, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, whether you're a McKinsey consultant or you're an independent contractor just getting out there, or you've got a skill set and you want to share and be paid for that skill set somewhere, everybody starts with one customer, and you get paid to learn. You get paid as you're working, as you're testing, as you're doing the things you want to do as a consultant. You're actually gaining experience, you're gaining confidence, you're gaining knowledge, right? I cannot imagine any other business where you actually get paid on the client's dime to learn how to be better at what you do. That's why this business is awesome, because every consultant's experience comes from the doing, right? From the action of applying the knowledge and learning through the feedback to improve those outcomes, right? Because ultimately, when you're here, all of you, I would imagine, at least I hope all of you are here because you want to help people out with what you know works, or you want to help people out because you know you like the idea of helping people become successful at what they do. You know, there was a famous man that said, if you help enough people become successful, you'll also become successful too, right? But understand that there is this insidious thing that stops us. There are the movies that we run in our head, and there are all these reasons, and these experiences that we make up in our fear aren't real, right? We're allowing, and a lot of that comes from being not so clear about what you want to do. A lot of that comes from not being certain about how you want to build your business. A lot of that comes from that confidence that you need to build. And the thing is if you look at the difference between those that struggle and you look at the difference of those that do exceptionally well, right? It comes from the doing and the learning and the feedback from the doing. So what do you think is holding you back? If I was to ask you this question and you felt that there was something that, you're, not sure of, what is the thing? I'm not going to call you out by name, but I would love to know, what do you think is holding you back? What do you think is holding you back? If there was something holding you back from leveling up and really crushing and getting out there and making things happen in your business, what do you think? What is the thing? Okay, Richie said, sorry, I didn't mean to call the name. I won't tell you what Richie said. Okay, so being able to outsource services, no daily prospecting. Okay, the fear of prospecting. What else is holding you back? Just if you can share with me, I won't call you out by name, but I want to know if there was something that was stopping you, like you want to move forward, you want to do business, and you want to grow. What is stopping you? What is stopping you? Speaking to an industry, okay, no outreach, that you feel that you're not good enough. Wow, that's a huge one. The fear of rejection, yeah, that hurts. We don't like to be rejected. I don't like being rejected. I hate being rejected. The confidence in the results that may be generated, that's another big one. No engagement with potential clients, that's a tough one. Pretty hard to grow a business if we're not going to engage with anybody. Okay, the fear that you've got no testimonials, no case studies. The confidence in charging higher prices, yes, that's a really big one for a lot of people. The lack of successful prospecting, yeah, so we're trying to prospect, but we're not getting the results in our outreach. It's not, whatever we're doing isn't quite working. The fear of getting called a fraud. Yes, I have had the fear of being thought of as a fraud. I thought, I got to tell you, I had a $30 million agency, and to the outward world, most people saw what I was doing and what I had, and I was very young and really arrogant and really cocky, and I had the toys, and I lived in an awesome penthouse apartment overlooking the river, and I had all the trappings of what people perceive to be a great lifestyle or a successful business person. And let me tell you, in that moment when I had all this shit, I felt like a total fraud because I was absolutely and utterly miserable. Business-wise, I was perceived as awesome, incredibly successful, fast-growing, built the whole thing, made it happen, great team, right? Inwardly, I felt like an absolute loser. How do you run a $30 million company and feel like shit and feel like a loser? That's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. But I realized that I wasn't happy with where I was and where I was at with me and who I was as a person and how I was living my life. I wasn't happy. And so that's why I felt like an absolute fraud, because I had this, what was perceived to be this incredible lifestyle, incredible business, but I was crying inside. I was miserable, absolutely miserable, right, in doing so. So yes, fear of being the fraud, fear of, time constraints. Okay, yeah, time pressure. I haven't got time to get things done. Good point. Having a good system and having a good coach. Interesting. Okay, so yes, I've always leveled up in my businesses by getting coached by coaches and mentors, which have been really important in my life. Even today, I still have mentors. In fact, this year I spent more than $100,000 on mentors. Fear of running out of money. Okay, fear of running out of money to be able to market, not knowing how much to charge, yes, fear of failure, yeah, failing sucks, yeah, but let me tell you, in your failures, in failure is where you also there are great strides and great movements forward. If I talk to the most successful people that I know, that some of my friends, they'll tell you that their failure has been their greatest asset. Their failures have been areas where they've made their greatest breakthroughs, their greatest opening and opportunities by failing. For those of you, if you want to see about failing and rejection, there's this great TED video by a guy called Jai Jiang, and he did this exercise where he would run around getting rejected on ridiculous requests, and funnily enough, people started giving him what he asked for, which is amazing, right? But failure, the fear of failure is huge. Somebody says, "You mean I'm not a fraud?" Yeah. What did I do to get over feeling like a fraud? I actually started to take care of the things that were important to me personally as a human being. I started to care about my family, friends, people that were important to me. That's what I started doing. I started getting in touch with what was important in what I was doing and how I was helping people. That's how I changed the way my life or the trajectory of my life at that time of my life. Trying to get clients for years now, and no matter how hard I tried to prospect, for years, you've been trying to get clients for years. You've been trying the wrong way for years. If you've been doing this for years, there's something that's not quite right. But we're going to help you in this training. So thank you. I really appreciate you sharing. That's really awesome, right? All of these things, right? All of these things that are real to us in the moment, right? Is a big challenge for all of us, because it is real. We have those feelings, right? So I'm going to ask you this question. What do you think is the difference between someone who's crushing it and someone who's struggling to get traction and momentum? What do you think is the difference between somebody who's crushing it and somebody who's getting traction, somebody who's struggling to get traction? If you're struggling to get traction, right, what do you think the difference is somebody who's doing it out there and somebody who's struggling? I'd love to know your feedback on this one. What do you think the difference is? What do you think? Okay, so Richie says somebody who's fluent in sales talk. Well, learning how to sell is a very important skill. Goals. They've got goals and other people don't have goals. Yes, having goals is part of that process. It's much simpler. The belief and action. Yep, Al says belief and action. Enough of the right kind of action. That's an interesting point. That's a good point. Yes, the right kind of action. The difference is confidence, and the difference is having confidence and not having confidence. Michael says taking action. John is copying the proper mentor. Yes, sometimes you can learn through, accelerate your process through learning through others. Consistency, having a process and following it. Yep. Action and feedback, lots of action. Overthinking it and not taking action. Yes, sometimes we overthink and we don't take the action. Self-confidence, yes. A good system and a good coach, Jimmy, yes, that can also help. Let me tell you, it's something a little bit different than what all of you are thinking, right? All of those things are contributors, and the action part, yes, is a contribution. But the difference is that it's a decision. It's a decision to do well, and it is a decision not to do well. It is a decision to be successful in your business, and it is a decision not to be successful in your business. It is a decision to level up into $1 million business, and there is a decision not to level up to grow $1 million business. It is a decision that you make. You decide how important it is to you to have the things that you want to have and to build the type of business you want to build. You make that decision. Nobody else ever makes that decision for you. Nobody decides. You have to take a stand for yourself to say, this is what I want. Yes, you're going to have to learn some stuff. Yes, you're going to have to go through pain. Yes, you're going to mess things up. Yes, you're going to have things that happen that suck in business, because if you didn't have those things happen, then you're not in business. You're not in business if you're not in there, in the trenches, in the process of that learning and that accepting. I've been in business for 30 odd years. I've been consulting for more than 27 years. I still have failures. Last month, I had an abysmal failure on a project. I spent tens of thousands of dollars testing an idea, and my idea sucked. It sucked. Now I know what I'm doing, or at least I think I know what I'm doing, but I still have things go terribly and horribly wrong in the middle of trying to make things happen and grow. Do all my ideas suck? No, they don't. But let me tell you, in trying new things, in investing in new ideas, in working my way through, not everything is rosy. I'm giving you the absolute truth here, that sometimes shit does happen, right? And sometimes you make shit happen. Yeah, because you make mistakes, right? So in this learning curve, am I going to give up on this particular project or idea? I might, because it just might not be right, right? There's going to be a moment where I'm going to say, hey, I can't keep pushing up against a wall that isn't moving. Maybe I need to maybe I need to take a few steps back, and maybe I've got to look at where the gap is in the wall, or maybe I need to walk around the wall, or maybe I need to jump over the wall, but I will find a way to make it work. And if that doesn't work, then something else will. Right? It's not going to be win, 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 win. It doesn't work that way. Even in my $10 million agency, we still have huge mistakes. 6 months ago in our $1 million agency, in our $10 million agency, we had a churn rate of 7%. A churn rate means the number of clients that leave you for whatever reason, right? 7% churn rate in our business would cost us $1 million. Imagine losing $1 million because customers decided to leave for whatever reason. $1 million cash. You know how hard you have to work for $1 million cash, right? Now, I'm pleased to say 6 months later, we have a churn rate of less than 1%, right? Because we worked on that process to make sure we minimized our churn rate. A 1% churn rate is huge. It's fantastic. So it's a decision. You either go to do something that you say you're going to do and do what you can and learn and grow through those experiences, or you're going to decide not to be successful. Somebody here is saying, I've been trying for years to get a client. Let me tell you, you haven't been trying to get a client for years. You haven't done enough of the things that you know that you should be doing, because there are people all around you getting clients. Because if you said to me that you spent years trying to get a client to pay you money, you haven't asked anybody to spend money with you. You haven't asked anybody to commit to the dotted line to put money in your bank account, right? So it's in saying that, you actually haven't been doing what you actually need to be doing, because if you've been doing this for years, you've been doing it really well. So what you've learned is to not do what you want to do really well, right? Now you can change things up and start doing things really well, right? So let me tell you, it is a decision. When somebody says to me, what's the difference between somebody's doing 6 figures in their business and 7 figures in their business? It's a decision. They made a decision to build a business to 7 figures. So they had to start focusing on the process to do that. And here's the other little trick that I'm going to share with you. What most people do is they either live in the future or they live in the past. So they're thinking out, wouldn't it be nice to have all these things? It'd be great to have a business doing this. I'd love to do that. That would be really cool. I want to build a business that does that. That's awesome. And so they're thinking that this is what's going to look like. This is what's going to look like. Or they're sitting in the past. Hey, things haven't worked in the past. Or, when I tried that thing, that didn't work. Or, times have changed. The economy is a bit different. We're living in the past, right? What you need to be doing is focusing on the process. Every day is a do-over. Every single day that you get up, you get to live a new experience for yourself. You get to choose whether you're going to go and do some business or you're not going to do some business. You get to choose if you're going to engage a client. You get to choose if you're going to make an offer or not make an offer. It boils down to the simple fact of a decision in business. So I'm going to help you devise a really simple plan, because I want you to take action on what we're learning. Famous general, World War II general, George S. Patton, said, without a plan, you're just a tourist wandering around aimlessly, bumping into things. And that's what most people do in business. They wander around aimlessly, bumping into things. They're not clear about what they're doing. They've got no focus of what their intentions are. They're not actually consistent in their actions. There is no real desire or reason as to why they want those things. So there's no point in actually getting these things. And so ultimately they struggle, right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to help you get focused on a really, really simple plan. Whether you're starting, whether you're a freelancer, whether you're an agency, you're trying to scale and add more to your business, right? I'm going to show you that with this little focus and with some of the things I'm going to share with you today, that you can dramatically improve the chances of you growing business. So first, I want to ask you, how much cash do you want to put in your bank account in the next 30 days? Just write down or just type in a figure, and be conservative, by the way. Don't go crazy and say, I want to put $100,000 in my bank account in the next 30 days. If you've got the marketplace for you to go and put 100,000 cash, then put down, I'm going to make 100,000 in 30 days. But if you wanted to add some cash, actually bring in a client, put some money, or maybe a few clients in the next 30 days, how much money? Just type in, right? John, 8 grand. Yep, awesome. Simon, another 3 grand cash in 30 days. That'd be awesome. Trisha, it'd be nice to have 3,000. One customer or 2 customers would be good. John wants to put 105,000. Awesome. You've got the strategy to generate $25,000 in cash every week. That would be great. $10,000 in 30 days. Very doable. 2 clients, 10K for Mike. Awesome. Started 6 months ago. Got 4 clients now using white label PPC. Awesome. 10K per month. 5 clients, yep. 4K a month, from 2 recurring clients in 30 days. Awesome, yep. Okay, awesome. So we're writing down here, and look, there's a whole bunch. By the way, there's more than 12 people on this webinar. So if you can just type in, if you're with me and working with me along the way, how much cash, money, actual money, do you want to put in the banks at the end of the next 30 days? Because without this little focus, Richie, 5K, awesome, thank you. Brandon, 10K, awesome. Dave, 10K. Peter, 20, awesome. I never said anything about cold calling, Russell. This is not about cold calling. So, yeah, but I didn't ask you what you were going to do. I just asked you how much cash you want to put in the bank account. That'd be really cool. Yeah, how much cash? Keep going. I've got to tell you, there's a lot more than 30 people on this webinar. Awesome, 10,000. Awesome, Rick. Yeah, 1,500, awesome. 15K, awesome, Paul. Thank you. Okay, great. So you clearly write this figure down. This is what you want in the next 30 days, right? So what I want you to do now is I want you to divide that number by what your average sale is. So how much the customer spending with you? Say, for example, if I wanted $10,000 in the next 30 days and my average sale was $2,500, I would need 4 customers. So I want you to divide your average sale, what you think your average sale, what you want to sell your service for, by the figure that you had in 30 days. I want you to type that in. How many customers do you need in the next 30 days to put that cash in your bank account? Let's go with that, right? How many customers do you need? Okay, 6 customers, Patria, awesome. 4 for Pete, awesome. 2 sales, Brandon, awesome. Very doable. Dave, 3, awesome. 8, 2 sales, awesome. 3 sales, or 1 if I can increase my prices. Simon, it's not about an if. You get to choose what the price is. It's not an if you can increase your price. You actually get the choice. The customer doesn't know what you're offering them until you offer it to them. So Simon, if you want a higher price, then just charge a higher price. Offer a higher price. They can't buy it unless you offer it. So if you can do that one customer, then that's awesome. 20, that's awesome. 2 customers for Russell, awesome. Need 5 clients at 2,500, awesome. Austin, Mike, 2, 6 for Paul, 2 for Andy, awesome. Who else? How many clients do you need to give you the revenue that you stated that you want to generate in the next 30 days? How many clients? Right? Let's get real here. Right? Let's get focused. All right. So we've got our numbers, which is good. So now we know roughly how many clients. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take this number. I want you to divide or multiply the number by 3 or 4. Right? So if you said that I spoke to 4 customers, I should be able to generate 1 client. That would mean if I was generating 4 sales in the next 4 weeks, I would need to speak to 16 people to convert, to make the $10,000 cash, which roughly I need to speak to 4 people a week over the next four weeks. Now, forget about how to get them and how we're going to speak to them. Don't get overwhelmed with, oh my God, I've got to get a whole bunch of people to speak to, because I'm going to show you some really simple stuff and going speaking to a whole bucketload of people very quickly. But I want to know roughly, even if it's 1 in 3, if you felt comfortable. So if I spoke to 3 people, help them out on how they can get better results with what I do, I should be able to get 1 customer. So you either multiply it by 3 or 4, and that should give you the number of appointments that you need to generate in the next, the number of appointments you need to have in the next 4 weeks, right? So who we got? We got, Yeah, 15 appointments. Yeah, 8 appointments. 15 appointments. Only like 3 to 4 appointments a week. 8 appointments, 2 appointments a week, Brandon. That's huge. That's fantastic. 24 appointments, John. That's a lot of appointments. It can be done. Absolutely, it can be done. Maybe low as 10 appointments. John M needs 60 appointments to put $100,000 in his bank account. 5 appointments from Richie. How many appointments? Just work out the numbers. If you've got a conversion rate of between 3 and 4, so if you had to speak to 3 people to get 1 customer, right? Then multiply your sales by 3. If you need to speak to 4 people, multiply it by 4. And this will give you a rough idea of how many people you need to speak to generate that outcome for yourself. So we got 12. That's 3 appointments a week. That's awesome, Peter, sorry. 4 appointments to do this month, Simon. Awesome. Russell, 12 appointments. Awesome. 25, 24. Awesome. Okay, so think about this is to give you the idea of what you need to do. So in some cases here, for some people, you just need 1 appointment per day. For some people, you need 1 appointment every other day. For some people, you need 1 appointment every 3 days in a month. So my question to you is to focus 1 hour of your efforts on how you're going to make an appointment, right? And I'm not going to ask you for the answer here. I'm not going to ask you to do any work here, but essentially what you've done here is you've built yourself a little plan. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do is what I teach some of the people I do, and this is really silly, is go and get some Post-it notes. And on those Post-it notes, you're going to have the number of clients. You're going to have 1 Post-it note per customer, and you're going to put the dollar value on that customer on the Post-it note, and you're going to put it in front of you somewhere where you can see it when you get up and where you're going to work, whether it's at your kitchen table or your bedroom or your garage, wherever you are, you're going to put up a Post-it note per client, right? And then you're going to get a series of Post-it notes stuck together, and you're going to write how many appointments. And each time you generate an appointment, you peel off the Post-it note. And each time you generate a client, you peel off the Post-it note so that you're focused on the next thing that is going to help you generate a client. This is as basic and as simple as it gets. And let me tell you how this works. I've had, we do a thing in Consulting Champions, the people I work with, where we do a reconciliation at the end of every month and at the end of every quarter, right? So this exercise that I've just given you, Perry, one of my Consulting Champions, did $140,000 over a 12-week period. $140,000 in 3 months from scratch. Has never been in business before in his entire life, ever. Followed my advice and ideas and tactics, the things that I'm sharing with you right now, and generated 140 grand. Never sold anything in his life. He came from the tech world. He just applied this really simple principle. Dan, one of my Consulting Champions, he did $40,000 in 3 weeks. 40 grand in 3 weeks, just following this basic principle that I shared. What you focus on most, the activity you focus and you pay attention to that you're actioning, is the one that's going to get you the greatest results in what you do. What most people do is they don't focus on anything. They'll say, I need more clients. And then it's like Friday and they haven't even spoken to anybody, right? Or I need more clients. Now it's the second week, Friday, and go, damn, I haven't got any clients, but I need more clients, right? And then they'll go the third week, I need more clients. And they might be lucky if they spoke to 1 person or 2 people in an entire month, right? They've had all those hours to engage, to offer, to reach out, to connect, to invite, all those hours, and they've done jack shit with their time, right? I'm sorry if I'm using some 4-letter words here, but it's true, right? All that time, 1 hour of income generating activity, 1 hour, one focused hour is enough to put $10, $20, $30,000 a month in your bank account, where you focus on speaking, engaging, and helping somebody to show them how you can help them with your idea. That's what it boils down to, right? It's really simple. When you're going from 0 to $1 million, 80% of your time should be invested in talking to customers, talking to prospective customers and potential customers, and bringing clients on board. 80% sales and marketing, 20% fulfillment, because with fulfillment, you can buy it in. You can hire it in. One of the things I say to people when I work with them is don't put your ducks in a row. Don't set everything up. Don't get all the bits and pieces set up so that you can go out there and think that you're going to be ready. Because I've got people who do the whole setting up and 3 months later still don't have a customer. But they've been setting all those things up and they're making everything perfect and they're making sure that all, they've got all their business cards and they've got their website working and all that sort of stuff. And they've got other people don't have a website, don't have a business even set up, going and pulling in 100 grand in less than 10 weeks, right? Understand that we create the conditions for ourselves, but the attention needs to be focused on income generating activity. The more we focus on income generating activity, the more income we'll actually end up putting in our bank account. That's the philosophy that I'm trying to share with you in this process. So let's continue on. So now you all have a plan. There's two things. How many appointments? We've done that. Right? That's our conversion. So we've worked out how many people you need to speak to in the course of the month. There are three things that you need to build your business with. And every other business in the world needs these three things as well. So this is how you grow your consulting agency. The number one thing is how you attract, engage, and invite more clients into your business. Now, funny thing about this idea, everybody else in the world, they also have to attract, engage, and invite more customers into their business. Their business is no different to your business. They need clients. You need clients to grow. So you need to build systems, strategies, and tactics that consistently bring appointments and opportunities into your business. You can do webinars, you can do trainings, you can do direct outreach, you can do emailing, you can do a whole bunch of things to do that. But you've got to be out there fine-tuning the processes to consistently put clients into your business. Right? We bring on 35 clients every 90 days, 35 clients, right? Every 90 days into our business. That's how we've been growing our business so rapidly, okay? Because we have a system. We have 23 different things going on to make sure we've got 35 clients coming in, right? Into our business. So we need more clients. The second thing is we need more revenue. Every business needs to charge more for its services. Every business needs to add more value, needs to package its pricing, needs to actually manage the margins in their pricing. Somebody just mentioned a moment ago, I would only need one client if I wasn't afraid to put my prices up, or if I could get my clients to pay more. It's not about getting your clients to pay more. It's about offering the value to the client, so the client will say, yeah, I'm willing to invest more. Or it's actually inviting them and offering them to buy more. So here's the number one strategy I'm going to recommend to you right now. All of you who are out there selling, offering anything, whatever price you put down right now, double it. The next person or next client that you speak to, and you put a price, an investment that they're going to invest in your services, whatever figure is in your head, just double the price. Now, if that scares the crap out of you, right, and you're afraid to double the price thinking the customer might not buy, then increase whatever that number is, increase the price by 20%. And the next time when you win the client, increase the price again by 20%. And the next time, increase the client again by 20%. It's really funny, of all the consultants that I've worked around in the world, when I've asked them to increase their prices, and I asked them, how did you go? And they turn around and say, you know what, they bought. Some people still said I'm too cheap. They doubled their price and the customers still said they were too cheap. I had consultants, Tom, two guys, they're working in a team. They were originally going to sell a website for $6,000. I said, you should not be selling a website for $6,000. You need to be selling that website for $46,000, because the value that you bring and the clients that the business is going to generate through that portal is worth millions of dollars in sales to the company. So then they sheepishly decided to offer the $46,000 website as opposed to the $6,000 website. And the client said, wow, that's cheap. We thought it was going to be way more than that. They said yes, instantly. So they bought a $46,000 website instead of a $6,000 website. Now the cost of making their website is going to be about $6 to $7 grand. And what they're doing is they're outsourcing the work with a better quality web developer and designer, so they're going to get better results. And they get to keep more than $38,000 in net profit, which is pretty cool. All they did was put the price up. They didn't change the website that they sold. It was going to be the same website, but the client saw the value because they saw the value. More revenue is about increasing your prices, packaging your services, adding value, enabling the customer to spend more with you. The last one is frequency. You want to keep customers for as long as possible. In our world, I am amazed at the number of people who say to me, and I'll give you a classic example. A consultant I was speaking to said, hey, you know, this whole agency business sucks. And I said, well, why does it suck? And he says, well, you know, I went and did what you did. I went and got some clients and it was really cool. And we were making about 20 grand a month. And like 12 weeks into working with a client, like 3 months later, those clients dropped off. And then we had to go and get some more clients, right? So they generated clients at $20,000 a month in recurring revenue. And then all of a sudden, 3 months in, they lose those clients. And I said, So let me ask you a couple of questions. I said, why do you think they actually left? What was the reason, do you think, that they thought that they weren't getting value from you and they left? Because if they were getting value from you and they were getting results, and they realized, that there was a connection, they would stay. Would that be fair? And I said, yeah. And I said, well, you're getting results from them. So yeah, we're getting heaps of leads. So yeah. So, but how often did you speak to the client? Oh, never. So in 3 months, they had clients paying them $5,000, $6,000 every month, not speak to the client. There's a red flag right there. If you've got somebody spending $6,000 plus a month in your business, you want to look after them. You want to help them feel like that they're actually cared for. You want to communicate with them. You want to help them improve. You want to help them make sure that they're maximizing the conversions of your campaigning, right? So you want to nurture, you want to support. This is why we have a 1% churn rate, is because we support our customers. We are constantly in communication with them. We're sharing, educating, showing them new things, inviting them to buy more from us. And so they end up increasing their value and increasing their prices. Frequency is about keeping a customer for as long as possible. The beautiful thing about the agency business, in our business, is that we can have customers that can stay with us for years. I've had a client who stayed with me for 12 years. They'd spent $3.5 million with me in 12 years. $3.5 million cash. And they were awesome. And they would say that we were awesome as well, that we did a great job for them as well. So understand that if you educate, nurture, frequency, so more clients, more revenue, more often, it helps you scale and compound growth of your business. That's the key here. So opportunity, let me tell you right now, the whole world, the business world, is being disrupted. Every industry, every market, they are struggling. They are struggling because if you look at websites out there, there's a lot of websites that suck out there. There's a lot of websites that have got broken links. There's a lot of websites where advertising campaigns are being run to websites that aren't going to favor the campaign. In fact, what happens is those sites will actually hurt a campaign because they're not optimized correctly and the campaigns aren't optimized correctly. And so the opportunity is great because nobody has a proper strategy or there's very few businesses that have evolving strategies to help them grow and scale online, and online is changing rapidly every single day. This is why you want to have a core service, and you want to be really good at it, because if you've got a core service, that makes you an expert, and as an expert you can help people get great results. And when people get great results, they will share you with other people that you can give great results to over a period of time. The opportunity in every market, whether you're in AdWords, Facebook ads, copywriting, email marketing, automation, every single genre right now is growing rapidly in the market. Every genre. I travel to a lot of conferences, and the first thing that I ask people, so who are you hiring? What areas are you investing money in? Everybody's investing in marketing. Everybody's trying to find somebody who can do Facebook ads, AdWords, graphic design, copywriting, branding. They're looking for people who've got those skills because they can't find them out in the marketplace. I get asked all the time, do you know anybody that can do Facebook ads for us? Right? And I say, I talk to hundreds of people who can do Facebook ads. I don't understand why they can't find you, right? You must be looking in the right corners. And I can tell you, there are hundreds of people, there are literally thousands of people that I speak to every year when I go to conferences and events and trade shows. And I'm very curious about what direction a lot of industries are taking. And the number one area that they are looking to invest or get their ideas right in, or they're looking for people with great ideas, is how do they connect, communicate, engage, and generate revenue online. That's where they're struggling right now. So from an opportunity point of view, it is huge. It is huge out there. Right? And they're looking for independent contractors. They're looking for people with ideas. They're looking for people who can help them, who can teach them, who can show them, right? They're looking for you out there in the market. It is a massive market with massive opportunities for everyone. In fact, just in marketing, in the online marketing space, there's going to be an extra $6 billion this year spent just in the United States on online marketing services. $6 billion. It's right now at $47 billion. Per annum. It is going to grow to 53 billion in the next 12 months. That's just marketing. That's just doing marketing strategy, right? Huge market. Opportunity is massive. So there's plenty of room. There is no saturation. There is no, in any market, there's no oversaturation. It's really weird when I actually go and work on bigger deals, or we work to develop bigger projects, and there's less competition for the bigger deals than there is for the people who are spending $500 a month. There's way less competition at that level, right? And it's so easy to engage at that level, right? To